Hey, what's up, everybody? Media 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I'm sitting here waiting on my meal to cook, and the oven is broken. It's been a hit or miss type of thing where you turn it on and maybe the food gets hot, stays hot, and maybe it'll cook the food halfway. Then it'll cool off and stay cool. I don't know, but I'm waiting for a response on them trying to replace it. So, for the time being, we make content and continue to check it to see if it'll heat up. So, these are the problems of the poor. But I'm comfortably nestled in this space because I'm thinking about my basketball team. And my basketball team, I'm telling you the truth, there's a lot to talk about. Because even though we just just dropped a game to the Nuggets, which resulted in us losing our first game in 6 games, breaking our 5 game winning streak. We find ourselves in a situation where we can consider ourselves getting closer to the trade deadline, about a month away. Certain teams are starting to kind of develop more of a direction of where they want to go, or more so starting to see how things are forming. And to be honest with you, there's nothing but parity everywhere. I think it's about 25 teams that believe they can get into the playoffs right now. And so, as I look at the situation, I realize that my hypothesis, I don't even know if that's the right word, but my theory is that most teams who are looking to make trades are probably waiting for the Lakers to make the first move and likely overpay for something by using their first round picks or both. One of their first round picks or both. And the Lakers are reluctant to do that. Now, what I'm trying to mull over in my head is the fullness of what it is that we're dealing with these picks. We're trying to win right now, but we understand that everybody else is willing to basically punt everything because they know that these next several years are going to be important. The unknown is coming in regards to the collective bargaining situations and things of that nature, the salary and what type of cap we're going to be looking at over the next several years, what type of talent is going to be coming in the league, and just an overall understanding of what it is I've been thinking about for a while, which is that picks are currency in the league and can help you both build and rebuild or undo certain things that should otherwise have never been done, which is something that takes place a lot of times with GMs and teams and things of that nature. So teams are starting to value picks more in a time where the Los Angeles Lakers are trying to give LeBron James a final hurrah. So the market is reacting to the desperation of the Lakers being in complete opposite, driving in the opposite direction of the rest of the league, which is looking to put as many picks together as possible. Um, Teams have watched the Celtics and OKC, teams like Orlando, Detroit, and Houston have stockpiled picks and young players. So now you look at them and you start to see the beginning stages of success, and you want to see your team do that. You also see teams like the Lakers and the Nets, um, the Clippers, who have mortgaged their futures and they're struggling with their situation, having given away their picks. So now teams are trying to reacquire them, just understanding the overall environment from which that is. So you got the Lakers trying to figure out if they can get better because they need to get better to fit this LeBron James timeline, which they probably shouldn't be on anyway. But they need to get better, and the rest of the league is essentially saying, okay, well, you have 2 picks. Picks mean everything to us, and since you're desperate and seemingly be confused and doing everything wrong, we're going to make sure that you use your picks for whatever movement you want to make. So it's being reported that like teams are telling us it's going to take our picks to get players that are not even up to par with what would be good to get a second round pick. Like a guy like Doug McDermott 2 years ago you couldn't move him for a second round pick. Now, because of the circumstance, the Lakers are being asked to pay a second round pick for him. So it's like these are the type of things that the Lakers are dealing with and trying to make moves to get better. And my thing is, I don't know that the Lakers need to necessarily make moves if it's going to cost them this price. I look at some of the players that we have on our team, and I look at some of the way that we can get better. It's slight, incremental pieces that we can move, guys that we can kind of send away and maybe get another guy in the buyout market or something like that. Um, that's not what you would prefer, but if doing a trade is going to make you worse, you don't do a trade just to be doing one. And that's essentially what this looks like to me. What we would be doing would be mortgaging everything that we have left for an opportunity to get marginally better, as to which, if you really consider it, I don't know that some of the rotations would actually be better. When you consider what we're talking about doing, if we do what it is that I just heard, we would basically be trying to send Russell Westbrook to San Antonio with maybe one or two of our picks to bring back Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson and Jakob Poeltl. Now, Jakob Poeltl was a desirable player to have in that situation. The other two are throw-ins, if you ask me. Some desire Josh Richardson because of his build and what he can do. Maybe if he plays well, he could really fit what the Lakers need. Josh McDermott, I haven't seen a whole lot from Doug McDermott, that makes me excited about bringing him in as a piece. I'm just going to be honest with you. He can give him about 15 points off the bench, probably a solid player, but nothing that's going to change life for me. So for me, it's like, if I'm looking at these players with that in mind, if that's where my mindset is, then what can I really accomplish by giving away first round picks, which are valued so high because everybody wants them at this time? What does that really do for me when the season's going to play itself out one way or another? We're going to be faced with the reality of this season being in the past, and then we're going to have to deal with what it is that we're left with, as to which we'll need those picks. However this season plays out, LeBron James should be happy, sad, champion or not. When we get to that threshold, those moments are going to be necessary for us to have those picks. And we know that. We know that while we're sitting here trying to salvage the season. And so at this point, it's like the Los Angeles Lakers need to understand something. Even if you do trade those picks and get everything back that is marginally better and all of that, and you satisfy the need to make LeBron James happy in the situation, if Anthony Davis goes down or LeBron James goes down, now the season's lost anyway. What you've brought back isn't better, and now you don't have the picks, as to which you're still going to need to make LeBron James and Anthony Davis happy, and it's going to be impossible to do so. So that's what the reality of the Lakers is. It's like, look, LeBron James is telling you not to slam the door on this season because he don't know how many years he wants to play, and every season matters. But he's also going to be the same guy that's going to come back around next season saying, well, what can you do for me? And you know what I mean? He's the same guy that's saying it's not rocket science. It's like, brother, you've done everything wrong in regards to the science. How are you telling people it's not rocket science? That bothered me. When I heard him say that LeBron James is the last person I want to hear say GMing is not rocket science, when he destroys the cap on every single move he wants to make. He's paying people that should not have been paid the amount, and as a result, his team has been lesser because of it. It is rocket science, fam. It is very, very complicated. And it's as sensitive as people saying, damn, this dude really, really wants something, so therefore let's fleece his team. It's rocket science, Bron. And because you haven't respected it enough, it's left teams in the dumps, bro. And it's like, yo, we need to stop allowing him to make these mistakes because he can't see that he wants other things later on. And that later on is our responsibility if you're the front office. So it's like, nah, I can't mortgage this season and then leave us being an inept team next season. And then we're going to need to pick up the pieces because you're going to walk. And now we're not going to be able to do anything for ourselves. That's like, yeah, nah. That's something that you can avoid if you're the Lakers. By prioritizing this season and LeBron James' need to keep this season going versus what it is that your responsibilities are as an organization in its proper order. And that's just what it is, man. If you're the organization, you cannot afford to make another bad decision. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if it costs you LeBron James, then that's because he misunderstood. He misunderstood what it was that was necessary to be done and what could be done and what couldn't be done. And that's going to end up being what it is. Because if you make a mistake trying to keep him and it leaves you even further in the dumps, which the Russell Westbrook thing was, which you should have learned from, then it's like, I mean, what actually are you doing? And then you turn around and look at LeBron James and blame him? What the difference is? He's his own man. He can walk away regardless. Who cares? You know what I mean? That's the point. It's like you're still responsible for you. Just like you were responsible for you when you did all the other stuff that you shouldn't have did in the name of LeBron James. And so here we are. It's like, yeah, he gonna sell you on the fact that he can win a championship. And if you do everything, you probably can. But you're gonna suck for about 7 or 8 years if you don't respect that science that he don't respect very much. You feel me? It ain't our fault he's unwise in that way. But it will be if we continue to go down that path with him. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be that guy. I'm always going to be honest about stuff like that because it's either you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? And when people don't respect the science or people think it's folly, I just say, well, man, there are a lot of people don't respect basketball too. They think it's as simple as you shooting buckets. You know what I mean? And then they get down there with you and find out that it's not that simple. And I think GMing is the same way, and I think he's looking at it that way. And I'm just like, yo, bro, no. After 20 years of doing this, nah. It gets to a point where I'm looking around. I don't know what to think. You know what I mean? This is parallel to how I felt when Russell Westbrook shot that shot on that random Saturday afternoon, and I couldn't believe it. And I was talking about he don't want to see us win. It's the same type of thing. Because you look at him and you say, how many times are you going to continue to do this? Is it like, are you coming here to see us fail? Are you trying to be a Trojan horse? Like, people are going to think those things when you continue to make the same mistakes, and then you get to the 20th year and you're demanding people make that same mistake. It's like, brother, this is the same crap you've put everybody through. What are you trying to sabotage me? That's the only logical explanation a person's going to come to. I mean, it really is. And so it's no way to not respect that if you're in his seat and you're thinking the way that anybody logically would. It's like, yo, that's all they're going to see there, man. The fan is going to see that angle. They're not going to see what you think you can provide once the team mortgages the future. They're going to see the team being stupid for continue to say yes to you, man. And so at some point we just got to say, yo, no, I'm not going to trade for Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine. I know you could probably win with them dudes this season, but you're going to leave me with them dudes next season. And I don't know if I want to move forward with them as a franchise. You feel me? Yes, Bogdanovic's a heck of a player. Maybe we want him that much, maybe we don't. But, like, I can't just trade for him, mortgage my 2 picks just to make LeBron happy. And he's, you know what I mean? He's talking about leaving to go play with his kid, man. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm actually hopeful he can accomplish that here in this uniform. But if he can't, it's his dream to go do that, man. It's his dream to play with his boy. I understand what he's saying, but ain't nobody, you know what I mean? We know what the dream is. We know what the dream is. The dream is to play on the team with his son. You know, that's the Ken Griffey dream. It's not playing against his son and having to block his shot, or his son hitting the last free throw and him losing and having to find a way to support the situation. No, he wants to play on the same team with his son. He wants to win a championship with his kid. Let's just be real. And so if the Lakers can't deliver that, then they have to have an exit plan for this guy. Ain't no way around it. And if he chooses not to take that exit, then that's fine. We're happy we keep him. We have a plan for that too. But if he takes that strategy the way out, then we need to be able to stand firm as a franchise and just welcome another superstar in his stead. Which is something I don't think he's going to want to do. When it's time, I don't think he's going to want to see that. Him facing the Lakers and some dude coming in, some Paolo Banchero or Giannis Antetokounmpo putting on purple and gold, and him leaving to go play for the Pacers so he can play with his son. How long are you going to think he can play in this Pacer uniform? He going to want to come back to L.A. I tell you, if he ain't going to want to go to L.A., he going to want to go to Miami. He ain't going to want to play in Cleveland. May retire, but I don't see that coming. No, not what he's seeing Tom Brady doing, what he's doing over there. And he knows he's a bigger specimen, a greater specimen than that. He ain't going to want to retire. So I'm just looking at him and I'm saying, okay, Bron, look, you're going to want to be a Laker. If it ain't this year, it's probably 2-3 years down the road, you're going to want to be in this uniform one way or another, bro. So I'm not of the mindset that we need to be mortgaging our future, because we need to still be attractive that day. We need to be a good team that day. And that's Genie's responsibility to be making moves in regards to that right now. So no, I can't mortgage my future for Bron. Not if I'm a good organization. I know what the hell I'm doing. No, I can't do that, bro. And yes, I see the fruit in winning a championship right now. I want one too. Hopefully you can bring me that, since I'm paying the luxury tax for that to take place. I totally get Genie's position, and most of us should. He the legend. Bring me a championship with these guys. They're cool players. We got enough of these youngsters. They keep popping up. Hey, here goes another one. Max Christie just popped up yesterday. Cole Swider's going to pop up tomorrow. We got players, man. We just got to use them. I'm just being honest with you. Don't be surprised Cole Swider has a 25, 30-point game for the end of the season. It's happening. I'm pointing it out before it happens. It's going to happen. So you guys need to understand something. The Lakers, do we have some talent issues? Do we have some IQ issues with certain players? Yes. Yeah, they're happening. But we can also have some extreme strength with those same players, which means that there's some leverage to not move. There's some leverage to keep your picks, make maybe a small move, because I don't think not making a move is really excusable, honestly. Because we have second-round picks, we do have cash considerations, we do have a Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley contract that should be desirable to at least write off for someone. It's not like it's $47 million that they're going to have to play super tax on. A guy like Kendrick Nunn should be movable. And some of these guys that we're not going to re-sign, one or two of them probably won't be re-signed. We're going to have to pick some, or we're going to have to put them in some trade rumors. Lonnie Walker, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't particularly want to get rid of any of our one-year guys that are part of that young core. But some of them are going to go get it back somewhere else. And we need to be able to anticipate who they are and get value for them right now. So that's a tough spot. That's a tough spot. But at the same time, it's like, this is what the Lakers have. This is what they've created for themselves. So this is what they have to react to, and they're gonna have to make some tough decisions, and that's okay. It's like literally okay. You have to psych yourself out to saying, some of this stuff has to go, and we're gonna have to have the intent of never allowing ourselves to be in this position again with the next stuff that we get. But we gotta know what addition by subtraction in situations where your cap situation's not right, where your players are injury prone and older and highly demanding. When they need stuff. It's like you can't be in the position the Lakers are in, further mortgage your future with the little picks that you have, in an era where everybody's inflating everything because they're trying to hoard picks. It's like, that's the worst time to be trading picks. When everybody knows you need to get rid of them and they're priced over what they usually are, that's like, you are going to walk right into the eye of the storm, like in a situation like that with your value. So I don't think the Lakers should even be considering giving up their picks in this market. Not under these circumstances. You shouldn't even consider it. And see, that's what it comes down to. And when you look back at LeBron James, you say you do understand that this is the wise approach as it pertains to the market we're in. Like overall, brother, you do understand this. What I'm saying is the wise approach. Otherwise, you are giving up more value and taking back less of what you need. You know what I mean? So I just... You want somebody to get it, but you don't know if they care. You know what I mean? And that's where it becomes an issue. It's like, because if you don't care, I gotta care. I gotta be responsible for that. And I've already told you why. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't my fault if what I have to do gets in your way now. Because you already know what's up. You already know what's up. I think BDL 44 has articulated it well enough for him. We just can't be responsible as an organization if we go all in this season in the way that this market is set up. They're going to make us give away our 2 picks for some trash, absolute garbage. And with AD's health in the balance in the way that it is, that is a bad move. That is a bad move, bro. It's bad for us in the short term because you're still... I'm not going to speak in circles about that. Not going to do it. But we get it. I think everybody gets it. At the end of the day, I'm hopeful that somebody is getting this information or this perspective to everybody involved. Everybody needs to understand this clearly, because the Lakers are a very, very important organization to the NBA, and we are going to be in the dumps for a long, long time. And they're going to blame LeBron James and his legacy and Clutch for why that team ain't making as much money as it should in the coming years. When they were going all in here and now, you think they're going to blame why the Lakers suck? I'm going to blame Bron, bro. I'm telling you. I know it's coming. He going to be the one they blame for why this thing went down. It was the Jim Buss era, and then it was the LeBron Clutch era. And I'm telling you, both had major, major dips. And it's on Bron to turn it around by doing things the right way. It starts and ends with him, because people are following what the demand is upon his name. And they're doing stupid stuff because they're trying to adhere to that demand. And it will crush this franchise if he allows it to, and it will crush his Laker tenure, I guess is what I'd say. His overall Laker legacy, which is not the one to crush when you're trying to be the greatest player ever played. No. If I were LeBron James, I wouldn't want to leave LA at all. Low key. I'd want people to think I'm one to leave, but I don't think, for my legacy and what I'm trying to accomplish, I don't think I can really get that type of energy in most other uniforms. Not most. I can think of a few where he can, Genie, so I wouldn't play with him, but not most. So we need to value the guy. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend, but some of these other organizations that I think have that type of support attachment to their names, they're not better organizations than us. He would have to go to like the Knicks and get them a championship, or get the Clippers off the ground and get them a championship. against us, which would really suck for us, but be great for his legacy in some ways. Even though not in Los Angeles, but overall around the world, he brought the Clippers a championship and the Lakers a championship. Oh my God, the Clippers' first championship. Yeah, that crap. You don't want him thinking about that. You don't want him thinking about that. He'll be booed every day, but if he gets it done, you know what I'm saying? And with all the money Ballmer got, he'll make us forget about a lot of stuff. So it's like, no, you don't want to play with that. You don't want to play about that. What you want to do is make yourself attractive because you're still the Lakers. People still dream about being on your team. Still dream about wearing purple and gold. However inept we've been, people know what's up. So I would just tell Jeanie to do things properly, just like I've been saying in this camera 178 times. You know, try to get up with the times because it's a new day. And you know, basketball first. That's what it's all about. Development, not being afraid to develop talent. Lean on what our strengths are, which is development. And I think we should be looking to acquire second round picks. This is a very new thought. Very new thought. Haven't said this at all. But I do believe that it's just common dang sense when you have fantastic luck and success drafting second round talent. You should be trying to surplus yourself with second round picks. I don't know why I didn't lobby for this sooner. It was right there in my face. It took Trevor Lane and several others kind of just helping me understand what it is that I've been saying already, which is we have great scouts and but it's like those two things need to be understood. It's like, we've been finding, not only do we need to get these guys picks, but we need to let them continue doing what it is that they're doing, which is shopping around at the bottom of the draft and finding gems that are really good role players and maybe even a little better than that, because that is where they've absolutely proven. So rather than to be giving away second round picks for guys like Cam Reddish, we need to be trying to acquire second round picks for guys like Patrick Beverley. It's going to be a tough sell because I wouldn't give you a second round pick for him at this point, especially if he's dealing with an injury. It's going to have him down. So, yeah, man, that's a new thought, man. I think that makes a lot of sense, you guys. I think that really does, and obviously that's a future thing. That's not something that's going to help you right away, but we should be secretly looking to just acquire second round picks anywhere we can, anywhere in the draft, up and down the bottom of that thing, because we're finding stuff even in the undrafted areas. So, you know, this Max Christie situation, obviously, you know, having success, getting our guy Austin Reeves last year, and several others too, of course. You gotta feel good. I think Thomas Bryant was found in the second round. If I'm not mistaken, we got him like in the back of the second round. I don't know about that, but he wasn't a high draft pick, certainly. You think about guys like Jordan Clarkson we got in the back of the first. I just don't think this team needs to go too far to find quality in these upcoming drafts. So, yeah, that's what I want to say, man. And sometimes it can get a little tricky in the middle of the first round because a lot of times teams reach for those guys anyway. A lot of times those are the guys that probably should be going in the second round when it's all said and done. That's what history's telling us sometimes. So, I don't know. I just feel more confident that this draft and these upcoming drafts are going to give us quality up and down. And if you're able to develop some of these dudes, you might find you an all-star in the second round. So, yeah, man, give it some thought, y'all. That's what I'm thinking. Is there some more teams that have some players, man, that can get some energy in here wing-wise? Because I've been thinking about it. We need to start searching around the league for some of these dudes that are just not being used properly. I've been saying it all day. I've mentioned some others. There's some OKC dudes. There's some San Antonio dudes. For example, if we do a deal with San Antonio, Romeo Langford is a player that I think the Lakers should get. And I said that in a video earlier today. But, you know, if we're going to swing to overreach for certain stuff on San Antonio, if for some reason we end up doing a stupid trade where we do give up 2 picks for some package that it gives us Josh Richardson and Jakob Poeltl and McDermott, I want us to try to get some throw-in players from these teams, man. Try to get a third team in and find a throw-in player that you really, really love. That can make up the difference for what it is you're giving up. Several. Very much several of them. That's how you do it, because it's like if we're going to send out 2 picks and we're going to bring back stuff that's just okay, there needs to be some stuff on the back of that trade that could pop crazy. I remember a trade that the Orlando Magic did that they did with the Detroit Pistons for 2 role player guys that were pretty solid. I think that's how that went. I think the Pistons sent them to Orlando. I think that's how that went. Two role player guys hadn't been proven yet, but we're starting to pop a little bit. Guys by the name of Tobias Harris and Chris Middleton. Okay? They found them dudes on the back of the bench and they brought them to their situation. Needless to say, Tobias Harris turned into something. Needless to say, Chris Middleton turned into something. I don't remember how Chris Middleton got to Milwaukee. I don't remember, but he got there from Orlando. I believe that's how that went. But the point is, you see what type of talent they were able to get just by getting some throw-in guys that didn't really have a name yet? Christian Wood. Heard of him? He was some guy on the back of some bench that was like a scrub for a long time. Christian Wood's name was synonymous on the back of like New Orleans bench, Sacramento bench. He wasn't nobody. He wasn't nobody, y'all. Until Detroit put him on their team, let him get some minutes, and you're like, oh, they're letting this guy play? Oh, man, he could really play. Oh, man, he could really play. Oh, look at him now. He was just a guy. And he was just a guy for a while, too. And so that's what I'm saying. Like a guy like Romeo Langford, that's what I think is going to happen with Romeo. You know, he's going to turn to something. And it's going to be like, oh, wow, why didn't we get him? It's like, yeah, I know. So it's one of those situations where it's like, don't think for a second that you can't find some more of these dudes. And some of them may be a little, I don't know, some of them I might not be as high on. Maybe Josh Richardson might be one of those guys. I don't know. But the point is, you want to make sure that their contracts don't suck. You want to make sure that they can help you on the books as well. And that's why that's why you go for guys that have upside, which is what I mean by reaches. Man, this oven is not working at all, for those who care. Just not. It's very, very warm, though. Everything's warm, but unfortunately still have to do some more cooking. So, I don't know, man. Whatever the case. But at least it gave me some opportunities here to bring all of this up to you. So that's what it is, you guys. Always looking to better this team at all times, every day, all day. Something on my mind that I think can improve this squad. And given the fact that we're closer to the trade deadline, I think that the Lakers should be studying more so than eager to make moves. You want to study what you're looking at. Make sure that what it is that you're reaching for is going to give you the value that ultimately makes sense for us long-term and short-term. The balance of both is everything. And, last but not least, I just think that the Lakers should really consider whatever they need to do to try to bring Bronny's draft prospect, his whatever you can do to get him on your team. You need to do that. That's what the Lakers need to do to heighten their opportunities. I don't know if that means getting more second-round picks, try to get those first-round picks out of here, try to assure you find one of the better first-round picks of that particular year. I don't know what you're going to do, but that's a good investment if you really want to go forward with LeBron James to assure that he never has to leave your organization. You give yourself every single opportunity to get Bronny to you. I don't know how you do that, but that is definitely the equation. Because that's really what he's dreaming about. If in watching his Dave McMenamin conversation, he seems as eager to be in that space as he is to be in any other. He wants to play with his son. So that's what I think it's all about more than anything. And so if the Lakers are serious about him, you can make that happen. And if he's serious about the Lakers, he needs to start winning championships, more than one, because that's what matters to us. Okay? And I'm telling you, we bring Bronny here, we're going to hold him to the same standard. We're going to want him to be a killer. And we're going to want him to dunk on people just like he's doing. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, forget Bron. I want Bronny on my team. It's a 6'3" dude that jumps off the ground. He's crazy great. I can already see it. He has his dad's genes. So I'm not just saying we need to get Bronny because Bron wants to be here. I'm saying we need to get Bronny because that dude's going to be something. He reminds me a little Donovan Mitchell or something. So, yeah, I don't think it's as simple as getting second-round picks and hoping he falls to you. No, this dude got some game, man. I'm starting to see that he's going to be a dude. He reminds me of like Eric Bledsoe or something like that because he's a little undersized, but he's getting off the ground. And because he can shoot, and because his last name is James, you know for dang sure he's going to be able to do some things that maybe the average person is not going to be able to do. He's already showing that. And I'm not so sure he doesn't have a growth spurt coming. I don't think he's going to stay 6'3" for long. He's LeBron James' son. So we're going to pay attention to that, man. We're going to start studying these kids. I don't know how good he is, but from the pop that I've seen, he's made a significant jump in his skill. So, yeah, like I said, Lakers need to try to get Bronny James. I'm not playing about that. Get that prospect if you can. I don't know how far away he is. If he goes undrafted, even better. But get him. I already see enough to make me understand that's a pro. And he's a pro, should be in purple and gold. So that's what I got to say, man. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.